Hello, guys. This is Mr. McGuire. I am the media arts teacher here at Crawford Middle School, and I am coming to you from my home on my back porch. And I wanted to say welcome to the 2020 to 2021 school year at Crawford Middle School. I am excited about what I'm going to bring to you virtually. There's a lot of great things that we're going to do in my class. And the very first thing we're going to do today is I'm going to teach you how to create your own Bitmoji classroom, if you will, with hyperlinks, or your Bitmoji locker, or using Bitmoji to just create a world for you, your room, or outside, or whatever that may be that you would like. So there's some really cool things that we're going to do. So I just want to say welcome to this school year. And if you have any questions, I will have links. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, which will have all of the videos there. So parents, if you're also watching, I will do everything in my power to help promote success for your child at Crawford Middle School this year. Let's have a great year. All right, so here we are. We're going to start our first project in the media arts class. This project will be a really good project to help with keyboard shortcuts on your Chromebook and a lot of different types of concepts that we are going to cover on your Chromebook, from when you make a mistake to if you want to redo something using the order tool. We're going to talk about transparency in pictures, which is also called a PNG, and a few other things. So this is the project. I've got this source linked here. So just real quickly, as we start my class, this project is called Welcome to Bitmoji 101. And if you notice, I've got my information here. My name is Jeremy McGuire. I'm the media arts teacher here and a team lead for Crawford Middle School. The team that I am leading is the Expos, and that's the Career Technology Engineering and Health Sciences, or the PE classes, and then health class. So there's my email, my Twitter feed, and there is my YouTube address if you would like to subscribe to that, and then my Google site, which has a lot of other cool information. So we're going to press on and talk more about the process of creating a Bitmoji website or classroom or locker or whatever the case may be. Now, I want you to understand this project is not just a visual project. It does have some meat and potatoes to it, meaning there's hyperlinks which you can link to get to different things. Just a real quick example of this. I'm going to click on some of these. This is WeVideo that I'm using, which is a video manipulation software. So if you notice, there's a link here that I have linked, or this is called a hyperlink. Also, we'll use Remove BG. This is my drive. I'm also the STLP, Student Technology Leadership Program Coordinator. We'll use Pixlr, which is a really cool way to edit pictures. The Adobe Creative Cloud, more specifically, we're going to work with Adobe Spark. This is the news team that we did last year in my 8th grade classes. We had the Crawford Middle School News, or the CMS News broadcast. So that's a link to that. These are some of the projects we've done in my class for my graphic design component. Now, this right here is my Google Classroom, but this year we're going to move towards Canvas. So this is our infrastructure that we're going to use for grading and our projects. This right here is our green room, which I'm going to build. It's got my email address. This is, again, my media YouTube page for everything. And then this is our CTE team. So there's a lot that goes into a Bitmoji classroom. There's your Adobe Spark, there's your Google Drawings and things like that. So that's not linked, but that is. So when you complete the project, you will download that as a PDF file, and then others that are looking at it or yourself will have access to it. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add extensions from the Chrome store. So the big issue there is what you want to do is you want to go to the Chrome Web Store, and the big thing is making sure that you can get to your Bitmoji classroom or your Bitmojis themselves. Now, if you notice, I have already added that. So, for example, if I wanted to add that to Chrome, if I click Add to Chrome and add an extension, what's going to happen is that extension just popped up right there. Okay, so all your extensions are right there on the top. Okay, so I'm going to close that out. If you can't see your extensions, you might need to click on that, and there's your other extensions. All right, so my Bitmoji is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Get Started. And I will say that you will need to develop a Snapchat. Now, here's the problem. At home, you'll be able to do that. At school, you will not. So chances are you'll probably have to create a Bitmoji on Snapchat. You could use your phone or, you know, there's all kinds of ways that you can create your personal Bitmoji that looks somewhat like you. So let's go back to my linked resources here. What you want to do is you want to create an avatar, and I'll let you do that. This is half the fun of the project. It's a really cool project in the sense that, you know, it's got more than just, you know, shooting a text to a friend with your avatar, your Bitmoji, or whatever the case may be. Moving on to the next thing, we just covered that. So here's some of the Bitmojis that I have. Morning, good news, yeah, poking fun, telling someone you love you, just some different things. Okay, if you have a day of the Mondays or whatever the case may be, and, you know, if you didn't know, I am married. This is my beautiful wife, Carrie, and she is also an elementary teacher. So, you know, you can. The key to this is you need to have some fun with it. You don't need to just corner yourself into a specific creative mode, if you will. So these are some of the things you can do with different types of Bitmojis. If you click on the extension and you're able to search, it's very simplistic to do. Now, again, if you have to use your phone, these are the two techniques in which you can use to download the app. So these are basically the only two operating systems that you can have pretty much in the United States. So this is a way that you can add for your iPhone and or an Android device. So that might be a way to do it. I will say that if you do this, then you can also, on this program, you can also upload this to your Google Drive. And I will show you that here in a minute. But right now, let's move on to collecting some of our Bitmojis. Now, what you want to do, first and foremost, is you're going to start off with your waffle when you start working. Okay, and when you start off with your waffle, you want to choose a Google slideshow. All right, now this is the most important part of your presentation, okay, or your Bitmoji classroom. So in this case, I'm going to delete everything except having the white canvas. And I'm going to call this a canvas. This is my canvas, and I'm going to fill this up with something. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to put your last name and your first name. And I'm just going to call it Bitmoji Classroom. Okay, or if you would like, you could call it Bitmoji World, because this is basically all the important things that you have in your world. Okay. So that's the first part of the video. I'm going to take a break. If you need to go back and review, please do so. When we come back, I will show you the process on how you can upload your Bitmojis from your phone if you're not able to get into your Bitmoji on your extension. Okay, so let's view this YouTube video on how to first download the Google Drive app using your iPhone from the App Store.
All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to download Google Drive on your iPhone. So the first thing you want to do is find the App Store. So here it is, and you want to open it. And then at the bottom right, click on Search, and then we're going to type in Google Drive. There it is, this top one, and I'm going to click Download. And that's it. So what you'll see is once it starts downloading, it'll be on your desktop. There it is right there. Here it is. And then once it's downloaded, we're going to log in. Let's give it just a second longer to install. All right, and now we need to go log in. So to log in, you have to have a Google email, a Gmail. So I'm going to tap on it.
When you log in for the first time, let's say, for example, I'm going to log in to an account. Okay, now you won't use a Gmail account. You need to use your school email account. Okay, so in this case, if you see it's alex.chu.stu.fayette.kyschools.us, you will always use that to log in. So you'll click on that, and then you'll put your whatever email address is. And so in this case, I'm going to just type his in. And then you'll put your password, and you're doing this all on your cell phone. So basically everything you have will be in the Google Drive app. This is what you're working with. Everything that you have, all your projects, if you notice, it's all there. Everything that you have done or you're going to do will be in that app. Okay, so on your Chromebook, what you need to do is go ahead and click on New and click on Folder, and let's just create a Bitmoji folder. Okay, so you don't have to type in folder, you just say Bitmoji, or you can say Bitmoji World. And by doing that, everything that you're going to create will be in that Bitmoji world. So when you click on it, there's nothing there. All right, so the next part is now you're going to upload those Bitmojis from your phone. But let's move over back to YouTube, and let's see how to get the Google Drive app using an Android phone.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Two Phones. Okay, I'll check you out, guys, here again with another informative video. This is a tutorial on how to use your Google Drive app and show you a little, features and things and sort. So, no further ado, let's go ahead and open the Google Drive application, which is this little triangular circle thing right here. Well, it's a triangle, more like a triangle, and it has.
So in this case, you all go to the Google Play Store, and it looks the same. So we won't have to go into that. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. So now here we are. We're back to our resources. Let's look back at our WeVideo resources while we're working on the program. So let's look at my drive here just so we can show you the process. And another cool thing about Drive is whatever you put in there most recent should be right at the top. There it is. It's going to take a second to open, but it's a PNG file. And that's a good point, too, because a PNG file has a transparent background, which means you see these boxes. It is a transparent background. There's my view when I got a nice little fade and got a little goatee there, a little beard action, and what hair I have left. So it's all good stuff. So basically, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can take a screen capture of it, and basically a screen capture, you hit Control and the button just above number 6 on your Chromebook, and that's going to give a screen capture, okay? So there's a lot of ways you can use that. You can add that. I'm going to, if you organize that, you organize it in your drive, I'm going to make sure it's where it's supposed to be. So in my case, there's my Bitmoji, and I'm going to move it here. So that's there. All right. So now I am working on my Google slide. Again, we open up a Google slideshow and named it last name, first name, Bitmoji World, Bitmoji Classroom, whatever the case may be. Okay. Now, this is where it gets fun. You're going to start collecting items from the internet. Okay. So when you collect items, you want to go to insert, image, search from web. And when you search from web, let me just kind of give you a heads up here. I'm gonna type in the word transparent. Okay. So when I say transparent, that's going to allow you to find items that doesn't have things around it that you have to work around. So let's say I want to try to find a transparent bookcase. Okay, you see how that's transparent. Now you can choose that one, but I'm going to choose that one. Okay, so you put it in there. Now, what I mean by that is there's not a whole lot around it. So if I'm going to double click on that, I'm going to pull these in and crop that down. So I'm going to waste even less space because it's going to make a big difference. Okay, now, point of reference, you do not ever want to pull from this one or this one. Okay, because unless you're trying to skew it. Okay, so let's say I just did that and made a mistake. You're going to hit Control Z or on a Mac, Command Z. Okay, Control Z or Command Z. So like in that case, let's go back to this is where we're collecting items. Okay, so if you notice it says image, search from web, and then we're going to start collecting things. Now you can collect them from your web, your Google Drive, or the computer itself. Now I will tell you this, your Google Chrome book only has about 8 gig of software or 8 gig head hard drive. So that is the equivalent of the very first iPhone ever made, or maybe an iPhone 2, if you will. The first one I think was 4 gig. The second one was 8 gig. Mine is 256. So as they make new iPhones or Android phones, the internal hard drive space is quite a bit larger. So just keep that in mind, okay, when you're doing that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it from the corner and I'm going to move it like that. So I want to put a bookshelf in right there, and then I want the exact same bookshelf, okay, and I'm going to hit Control D, all right, which is duplicate. Again, Control D. All right, so let's say I want to just move it with my arrows. I'm moving it like that. Or if you want to nudge it, you want to hit Shift, nudge. Okay, but in this case, let's just go ahead and drop it all the way over there. And if you notice, that line right there will help you put it in the exact spot it needs to go. Okay, so now I got 2 bookcases. So as a teacher, it'd be good to have a whiteboard. Okay, so I'm going to throw, let's see, let me find a whiteboard here that I like. I'm going to put that one in there. Okay, and that actually works really well. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to do this deal. Okay, now let me show you how cool this could be. This could really be fantastic in the event that you want to, and even for teachers, if you want to create a classroom and you're a part of that classroom or whatever the case may be. I can take this, okay, I can Control D to duplicate, right? I'm going to move it down, and I'm going to double click, and I'm going to get rid of the whiteboard, right? So now I want to put this and make it larger. Now, why do I want to make it larger? Because things that are closer to you are larger. And then I'm going to duplicate it again. Now, again, I'm just collecting items. You can collect the items you want. I'm going to collect the items that I want. Okay. And these are consistent to be students in the classroom facing the whiteboard. Okay. I think this is really cool. Now, what I need to do next is I need to put my Bitmoji in there that says hi. So I'm going to go image. I'm going to go to drive. You go to your own drive right there. Now, this is another avatar that I put in there. And if I wanted to put it in there, I could resize it. It could have me behind the table right there, which I'm cut off anyway. And then I want to nudge it down. And then like it looks like that I'm right there teaching. Okay. Or in that effect, I want to go to my one that I just uploaded. So you go to that Bitmoji folder. Now, right now it's showing the folders itself. If you want to click on the list, that might make it easier to read. So I'm going to go to my Bitmoji classroom, and there's the one that says hi. I've made a couple. So, and I like this one because if you look at both of them, they're both, and if you notice, it's transparent. Remember when we uploaded it, it's all transparent. So if you know, if you see that it has that checkerboard behind it, that is what's called a PNG file. Okay, PNG file. If you take a picture with your phone, like I take a picture with my cell phone, like right here, I'm taking a picture and boom, I just took a picture. That's typically what's called a JPEG file. Okay. So now we're thinking about extensions and things like that. So I want to resize that, and then I'm going to get rid of that guy, and I'm going to put, because this looks like it's a little bit more realistic. Okay. So really, if I do it right, I can put high on the board, and there I am. Because look, I'm really far back. I mean, these kids right here are closest to us. Okay. So actually, what I want to do is I want to make this smaller. Okay. And this is a bookshelf. And so if you want to make a bookshelf the exact same size, you hit Control D. Okay. Control D. And we're moving over. And so that's how you want to collect items. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. There's all kinds of things you can do, like, for example, books, transparent books. You throw them on there. So let's say I want to put these books on the desk. Okay. They're transparent. There's nothing around them. All right. So I don't have to worry about messing with them. Okay. Or if I want to put, if I want to set, you got to find a book that works right. All right, let's say I want to set these books on the shelf. And sometimes it takes a while, so I'm going to crop those down a little bit and do that right there. So I don't have any background. Make it smaller. And I'm going to set those books right on top of the bookshelf. Okay, or if you want to have some fun with it, you can put it inside the bookshelf. Okay. See how that works? Okay, so let's go to our link sources. So we have collected them. Now we're adding desks. This is the steps. Okay. Insert, search, web, and then if you want to do a chalkboard. Okay. Crop the chalkboard. We've been talking about crop. Control D is to duplicate if you wanted to duplicate the exact same. Okay. And if you want to insert words, you go to insert, word art, and I could just say Mr. Mcguire right there. Make that smaller. Put it on the whiteboard. And the cool thing is you go up here to your fill color. I like to go to gradient and mess with it a little bit like that. And, you can also make I want to make my words match that. Now, if I want to make it match the high, then you can do that as well. I'm going to go back and add we could add a custom color. Okay, so if I can go with a pink tone and go like this, it kind of makes it look a little bit better. Okay. So I can do it like that. So remember, this is your whole canvas. So I got a lot to fill up. There's a lot of stuff that I can fill up. Okay. Might make me a little bit bigger, but I think I'm good right there because I'm kind of far away. And I like that view. Okay. So when you go back, there is a program called Remove BG. Okay. What we will open up. And what Remove BG does is you see that right there? That enables a picture or a Bitmoji you take the background away. So what you can do is you can open up an image. Okay. And let's see what I have here. Let's click on this one. This is a picture from school. And I believe it will upload. This is so you see, you see Mr. Jones over there on the left, and so basically I just downloaded that picture as a PNG, and there it is. See? So what it does is it cuts out the background, and then now if you notice, it did cut off some of the heads there, but if you did a Bitmoji, it should be fairly easy to do. So that is called Remove BG. So that's a really cool program there. All right. So we're going to move on to using the order tool, and that will be the next chapter.